Well, another crazy day of ALGS has taken place, not only with our Pro League and some surprising results and some rather dominant results and some also results inside of the Challenger circuit and what's been going on over there and the drama as well. So firstly, Dom2Crack playing in the Challenger circuit had a bone to pick with Apex, and obviously this has been happening for quite some time. The game is definitely not esports ready, some might say, but there was currently a bug in Apex. Whenever you hit the beacon next to Mirage, it crashes everyone in the entire game, and this was currently happening inside of ALGS. How frustrating must that be? So these teams were literally, I mean, you could literally use this to purposely crash the game if you wanted to. It's not just necessarily an accident, but it's just unfortunate that this is going on because like they're having to play competition inside of this. And how chalked does one game get? You know, some people obviously are going to have an entire game ruined by this stuff. Even Vosky's saying, you know, this is ridiculous. But you go into these Challenger circuit games, and how do these games currently look, or how did they finish out? Well, if you haven't seen it already, we'll skip over quarterfinals because obviously we had semifinals and there's a lot to go over, but the quarterfinals basically give you the story. Inside of semifinals, you had two groups, right? The two groups here, the top 10 will be moving on to the finals to play a match point finals tonight. So if you guys want to watch that, of course, go check it out on twitch.tv. So Group 1, moving into your finals, monkey business with probably someone a lot of people were doubting, and that was Bullet. Bullet, obviously former Pro League player. I think there's been a lot of drama around, you know, like Klein and co, like these guys saying that, oh, Bullet wasn't good, he was washed and all of this stuff. Well, Bullet obviously had some, you know, struggles inside of PSQ and former CC as well this year, but looks like maybe this time might be his time. Coming in a very, very strong presence, first place inside of Group 1 for the semifinals, and then Purple Slushy, another team you all know, with Pluto and co, and Bunk Wavy. These guys have been playing for quite some time. Not Daniel, former you know, Pro League player as well, and Red 40 in number 3rd. He's our 3rd place. He's going to be going to the finals as well. Womp Womp with Dom2Cracked and co. These guys have been doing pretty good as well, along with Flinzer. Then hanging around, this is RJ. He actually also last Challenger circuit was doing pretty solid. Cactus Coolin, Awakening, and his team. Obviously, Bofer has been around for quite some time. So these guys all showing up. Now, some unfortunate, I guess, upsets here. No Name was actually a CC winner last split with Den Pride and co, and now these guys are going to be missing out on the finals at 11th place, unfortunately. And then also the Three Amigos. I was not expecting this one, but I didn't even know Taxi 2G was in NA, but apparently he is. And Kai and Crummy were playing with Taxi, and unfortunately they will not be moving on to the finals. Now going into Group 2, another organization or team that you guys all know, many of these are familiar. So Oversleepers, number 1, former Pro League, you know, organization team, whatever you want to call it, but really it's just Voddery. Voddery's back in it, first place. Good job on him. Then ACP with A1s. Now these guys, Crab has been an up and coming player that I've noticed for quite some time. I actually saw him playing when I think with Janu and Crescent a couple of months back, and this guy has really just stepped it up. A1s is doing a really good job. Fury in 3rd place with Vexies, Detox, all of these, you know, and Silent. These guys are all former Pro League players, and so very excited to see them continue to play. Status Quo with J. Cruel Buckle, you guys all know. Pink Wingman, which was Kuzme, which actually won a Challenger circuit last year. Dig Vibes, who's like literally always losing everything by 1 point, I swear. And so really good to see those guys. Meat Lovers, of course, you know Tech with Ethan Serial Cat. These guys are very, very talented, and excited to see them go into the finals today. Don't Give a Piss, which was James Fearless, Golden, and Shinny. These guys, along with Team Pure, which was Sang and Vosky and Enemigo. So very excited to see all these guys play and go into the finals. So those are your top 10. Then another upset here was Team Die. I was surprised to see this one. This was Zeto and Yaz and Yuban, and then also their sub, which was Vudo. Just very shocked to see this one, to be honest with you. I thought these guys were definitely going to make it, but at the end of the day, that was not a part of the cards. Now, moving on into the Pro League, you had some rather surprising results, I think, for some people. On the other hand, I think many people may have saw this coming, but TSM, no Imperial Hal, right? Of course. This is, oh, by the way, a little bit of a change at TSM that not many people have been talking about. So Reps, Verholsten, Zap, first place, and I actually watched. We did a little bit of a watch party last night. These guys were just crushing it, man. I mean, they were literally locked in. Surprisingly enough, despite winning multiple games, Furia was right behind them in a very strong presence. But TSM, if you haven't seen the news already, Verholz is not IGLing. It's actually been Zap as of late. Like, it's very obvious when you watch this. Zap is not someone I would have thought would have been an IGL. He definitely doesn't, you know, he's one of probably the newer players. But this guy was doing a great job yesterday. It was like coach IGL system. Verholz was asking a lot of questions. Maybe every now and then there was a little bit of an IGL experience for Verholz, but mostly it was Zap. And I got to say, he was doing a great job. So I'm very excited about TSM, and hopefully they can continue the success. Also, Furia as well. These guys, you know, Matt is going through some bad news recently with some family stuff and then a personal injury. So to come out here in a big way, I know is exciting for them. Complexity also doing really good, and excited to see them play so consistently after all the doubt that has been surrounding them for quite some time amongst a lot of the fans. LG also, no surprise, top 4 here. Skidmark in at 5th place. Board, which I think a lot of people probably were surprised by, but a very good placement by them. NGNL in 7th, they needed that. We're going to talk about these overall placements and how some of these are affected. EC in 8th, Flat. Cloud9, Liquid, Empire, Native, Edgers, Vanity, Temper, Stallions. Unfortunately, we got 2 big stories today, and that is Disguised and Not Moist. Oblivion also in 19th there. But the big stories around this and why this is such a big deal, if you take a look at the overall score, you will see that in the very bottom is Disguised and E8. And these guys are just really, I mean, they're so far behind. It's going to take a literal, like, I wouldn't say a miracle, but they're going to need to go off the walls in order to really fix this situation. They're basically starting 2 games behind. I mean, 2 points and 4 points literally are nothing at this point. And if they're going to want a chance to go to LAN, they have to step it up in a big way, because right now the top 12 consists of Falcons, SSG, Furia, TSM, LG, NRG, Skidmark, Oxygen, Liquid, Flat, Tripods, and Complexity. And so if you're going to break into that, Moist might miss out on LAN. Disguised might miss out on LAN. E8 might miss out on LAN. What sucks for E8 is they've been doing so well inside of scrims, and they just cannot convert it to the real ALGS matches. So that sucks for them. Of course, we hate it. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to make their own destiny. They're going to have to do it themselves. Obviously, you know, their popularity, their status is not going to do it for them. And so that's just the name of the game at the end of the day. Also had to mention from the EMEA scene, a big one was 07. 07 literally had a terrible day in the last week. 07 pops off with this one, which, by the way, they won by so many points, like 17, and they didn't even win a single game. They got second, was their best placement. They just popped off with a lot of kills. Zane went ballistic with 7k damage, 16 kills. This guy was going crazy. Alliance did pretty good in there as well. So happy for all of those guys. Overall, EMEA standings as it sits right now is Made in Heaven, GG, Passion. I feel bad for Omit, man. Omit had a great roster, and now GG's picked them up. They're also continuing their greatness. Passion in 3rd, Danish in 4th, ANC in 5th, Go Next in 6th, 07th now in 7th place, Navi in 8th, Alliance in 9th, and Passion, Aurora, DMS in the final, you know, inside of those top 12 spots. But of course, don't forget, not every region is like North America. Not all of them are getting 12 spots. So it's very important to just remain consistent. 07 is not a team you want to see miss out on LAN, and I honestly think they're one of EMEA, if not EMEA's finest, along with Aurora and Alliance right now. So they just got to keep trucking along and keep their consistency up, and hopefully things do go well. And then APAC South, if you haven't seen it, Legends Gaming popped off again yesterday. Now they actually went back-to-back days. If you'll see, June 9th, you know, they played, and then literally hours later they played again. They went back-to-back. And so on the first set of results we were covering yesterday, they didn't necessarily go insane. 10th place, not crazy, not bad either. On the flip side, they played right after and they went crazy again. These guys in first place, once again, 66 points, first overall, 32 kills. They crushed it. So very much excited for them. On the flip side, Virtus Pro, man, I talked about this yesterday. They're a team that I know can really do great things, and they've been doing great things as of late. But until this split 2 started, man, it's been rough. I really feel bad for them because they're a great roster overall. We know them, we love them, and I just hate to see that things are not working out as well. And hopefully they can fix this ship before it starts sinking. But Legends Gaming overall looking solid. And if you haven't seen the overall scores for them, well, just needless to say, Legends is in first, MKers in second, Serenity, Bearclaw, Vegas Inferno, MDY, XNY, Kill Devil in that top 8, VKG, Firebird, Remarkable Team, Boogie Borders in those as well. And then towards the bottom, literally, Virtus Pro is near at the bottom, and it's just not like them at all. But on side of the APAC South region, of course, we talked about New Jay recently. We've already gone over these scores, so nothing really to update very much here. But Fnatic still looking strong. A couple other of these teams as well. Reject still looking very strong. So needless to say, I think we're in for a treat for the remainder of the season. Now the question is, you see these Pro League standings right now. You got New Jay, you got MM1427G. You also got maybe not as many inside of the APAC South region, but inside of EMEA and also North America, you got a lot, especially 07, right, for the EMEA scene. And then inside of North America, you got Skidmark, which is a big one I think a lot of people have eyes on right now. Who's going to get involved with organizations when it comes to these rosters? Of course, somebody's got to step in. And a lot of people are wondering, of course, we don't think Optic is coming back. We're still looking to see what the heck is FaZe going to do. They made mention that Apex Legends would still be a roster, an organization, or a game that they would be investing in and still involved in, and we haven't really seen these big official announcements yet. So what is going on? Of course, Dark Zero, are they going to stick around? Are they going to leave? And another thing that people are looking at is Soar. Obviously, Soar's been around the Apex Legends scene for quite some time, and there's just no way in the world that Soar hasn't considered getting into the scene at some point. So really interested to see what organization in the end actually do pick up some of these rosters, and let me know what your predictions are down in the comment section below. Of course, like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside the world of Apex Legends esports news. And if you want to go check us out on Twitter with our blog updates as well, you can do that. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.